Hey everybody, this is the Esoteric Cross. I make videos about how to gain your personal power while learning ancient secrets, and if that sounds like something that you're into, please hit the like button and subscribe and gain insight from this perspective in the cosmos. In this video, we're going to talk about the truth behind what tarot really is. There are so many misconceptions about tarot and how it works. Most people see tarot as a way of predicting the future, and though it can be used to make predictions, it's not the true nature of what tarot really is and what it's intended for. Tarot is a form of divination, and to understand it, we must understand what divination really is. Divination is a way of gaining insight into a situation or question by the use of an occult practice. I believe tarot is best used as a tool for self-development and a way to understand more about yourself. The history of tarot is quite interesting. The earliest we can see tarot cards is in the 1400s, and they were most likely not actually used for divination at that time. They were used as playing cards for the elite. The design of the cards, however, were deeply symbolic and told a grand story of the mysteries. The story that is told is the greatest story ever told because it's the only story that's ever been told. It's a story with an exposition, a mountain to climb, a challenge to overcome, a story of self-discovery, unexpected conflict, tragedy, and victory, and a resolution. Let's take a look at the structure of tarot. We have the major arcana, the minor arcana, and the court cards. The word arcana means secret. So we have the major secrets and minor secrets. It's important to note that each card within the tarot represents you or your soul. It represents where you are within your journey. If you're using tarot cards as divination and you pull out a card that's unexpected and you don't feel like it fits with the question that you asked, this is an opportunity to learn something about the card and about your situation. Take a really close look at the card and all of the imagery. Take a close look at the symbolism. Could it be that you find something new that you haven't seen before in the card? Could you see something that triggers a new insight into the question that you have? How does this card speak to all of the other cards within the spread that you've drawn? Each card has a powerful energy to it, with a very rich symbolism that's designed to help you think deeper. It is designed in a way that speaks to your subconscious and helps you connect with your intuition. This is very interesting, being that these cards were intended to be used for just a card game. But then again, really look at who this card game was for. These cards were designed for rich people to play with in the 1400s. The people that these cards were made for were most likely involved in the mysteries and secret societies. It's extremely obvious by the designs of these cards and the structure of the deck that these were designed by a very intelligent occultist that knew this knowledge very well. So let's break down what these cards mean. We will begin with the major arcana. There are 22 cards here that tell the great story of the soul. This is about the journey that you're on with life. Not only life, but this is a grand journey that your consciousness goes through during the alchemical process. This isn't just a one and done deal. This is something that it goes through over and over and over. You could be at many stages of development in different areas at the same time. We begin with the first card, which is actually labeled with 0. This is the Fool card. This represents the beginning of the journey. There is no thought to anything outside the ordinary life. There might be a curiosity, but the Fool is just dancing around enjoying life without much thought to danger. He's about to dance himself off of a cliff. It is through the curiosity that the Fool decides to pursue knowledge. The Fool starts his journey and becomes the Magician. You can see the Magician has his altar with a sword, wand, cup, and a pentacle. These are the 4 elements. If you follow my channel, you might know that I talk a lot about ceremonial magic. The first stage in ceremonial magic is to balance the 4 elements. The Magician card represents a ceremonial magician working with these 4 elements in order to change the self in hopes for self-mastery. The Magician becomes the High Priestess, who gains wisdom through the secrets of the mysteries. then becoming the Empress who gains the understanding. She has put this occult knowledge that she's learned into practice. She is typically depicted as pregnant, as she is growing something beautiful with the actions that she's taking out of this divine wisdom. She then transforms into the Emperor, which is representing the king. This card represents expansion and becoming the ruler of self. Then he becomes the Hierophant, which is another wisdom card. It represents the patience one needs to go through this alchemical process. He then transforms into the Lovers. The Lovers is truly about the union of opposites. It represents the masculine and feminine energies coming together. This can also represent the union of the light and dark aspects of self, literally the positive and negative energies within the self. They are both there for a reason. It represents the overcoming of something challenging, victory. The Lovers becomes the Chariot. This is about movement, going forward despite how hard the journey is becoming. This turns into strength. There is a great amount of strength that is built when you are persevering. This is a moment where you have been through so much, and there's even more left in front of you to experience. You might rather go back to watching TV on the couch, going back to the Fool card. You question if self-mastery is right for you. But strength is what pulls you through, and you end up at the Hermit. The Hermit is going forward, realizing he is all alone in his journey. No one is here doing the work with you. No one is going to do it for you. You don't resonate with your old friends anymore. You don't resonate with the old things that you liked to do in the past. You are transforming and becoming more disciplined every day. This brings you to the Wheel of Fortune. You've learned a lot, but where do you go from here? What are you going to do with all of the knowledge and the wisdom that you've gained? The wheel represents the wheel of life. It can be outside circumstances that govern our reality. This card asks you if you're going to transcend those circumstances. The wheel is also the Wheel of Samsara. This card is the gateway or initiation into the most potent part of this alchemical process. The next card is Justice, and this is divine guidance and divine authority. It represents your highest aspect of self being discerning. How do you make decisions going forward with your life? You realize that you're the creator of your reality and your awareness is what you give energy to. How are you going to use it? This leads you to the Hanged Man, who is sacrificing something great for a better tomorrow, sacrificing for what is right. It is through this trial that a powerful illumination happens, and this leads into death. This is the big transformation that must occur within the alchemical process. This is the transformative fire that burns away all of the old. It's as if there's a radical change in an instance. There's no going back. This takes us to Temperance. After death, you gain your wings. The angel is performing magic, defying the laws of nature. This card is representing the union of opposites as well as conscious and subconscious. But we must face the darkness, taking us to the Devil card. The Devil has two people chained up, but the chains are pretty loose. They can take them off at any moment and walk away. You must realize what the things are that are holding you back from completing your journey. We enter the Tower card. This can be a complete paradigm shift. Something happens that really throws you off, and you have to rise to the test. Can you withstand this challenge? Can you apply all of your knowledge and wisdom to overcome this? If yes, then we make it to the Star, who is representing a higher society. This is lifting the world with one person at a time. Nurturing and caring energy, beauty, art, and music are all things that this card represents. This will take us to the Moon card, where we are very imaginative. The moon represents subconscious energy. We are seeing what the future could be and how we can create it. This card can also mean that there are some things still in the dark that need to be brought to light, and they will be brought to light by the sun. The sun is the illuminating truth that has been shined out to people. You accept this truth and work with it instead of against it. This will bring you to Judgment, which is raising out of lower states of consciousness. You are sharing your sunlight with others and raising them out of lower states of consciousness just by simply being around them. Will people answer this call? Will you answer the call as it takes you to aim even higher? If yes, then we have made it to the World card. This is the Universe card in some decks. Here we have completed the process and integrated everything that we've learned within us, and we approach the world in a new way. This process then starts over with the Fool. There's something new to proceed with. This is a very basic meaning of each of the cards, and when you examine them for long periods of time, you unlock a lot of new insights. I can't go over all of the meanings of every single card in this video, or we would be here for a very long time. Just know that the major arcana cards are the major secrets that you uncover along your magical journey. We also have the minor arcana cards to talk about. The minor arcana, which means little secrets, is all about the small parts along this journey. They are made up of the 4 suits of cards: swords, wands, cups, and pentacles. The 4 elements. The swords correspond with the element of air, and it's all about communication, thoughts, intellectualism, and it can be about legalities. The wands correspond with fire, and they are all about creativity, drive, energy, lust, and passion. The cups correspond with water, and they are all about emotions, intuition, flow, change, love, and relationships. Pentacles correspond with earth, and these cards have to do with the physical body, health, finances, sense of work, and manifesting. When you draw one of these cards, this will represent a small piece of insight on your situation or question. It could indicate that your situation is relatively small compared to the big picture of your life. When you draw a major arcana card, this will indicate that your situation is very important when it comes to the big picture of your life. When it comes to lengths of time, the swords are really quick, meaning days. Wands are a little slower, maybe weeks. Cups can mean weeks to months, and pentacles are the slowest, which can represent months to years. You may find other interpretations of the length of time when it comes to tarot, but logically, this makes more sense. Swords are quick and cutting. Wands are quick, but much less so. Cups and water is flowing, it's much more slow and adaptable. Pentacles, representing the growing of life, is very slow. It takes a lot of time for life to manifest and grow. You may see that some cards look more negative and some look more positive. The negative cards are there to show you something and offer insight on what perspective could be shifted. The positive cards are there to show you what is going right or what perspective might be needed to get you to where you want to go. We also have court cards, pages, knights, queens, and kings. Some decks might have the princess, prince, queen, and knights taking the place of the king. The court cards typically are representative of a person in your life, pages being someone young, knights being a young adult, queens and kings being older, female or male. I interpret this differently, because I approach tarot more with a self-development, self-discovery perspective rather than trying to predict the future, although I do use that modality too. The pages are more feminine and represent an internal quality. The knights are more masculine and represent an external quality. Same with the queens and kings, but the only difference is the level of advancement of that quality. Let's talk about the numerology for a bit. Each card will have a number with the exception of court cards. You might benefit from watching my video titled "Each Number Reveals a Secret Truth About the Universe." You can click the top right corner of your screen to watch that if you'd like. 1 is all about a new beginning, the first inspiration. 2 is about the relationship of two things, the next step, divine feminine. 3 is all about the birth of something new, the transformation, the action principle. 4 is all about the foundation and can correspond with the 4 elements. 5s are usually the difficult cards in tarot. Usually the cards have something that looks pretty devastating on them, but 5 is all about the 5 senses, the physical reality, and sometimes this can be tough. It's like a trial period. 6 is usually about the coming together of opposites and can represent something manifesting to reveal the bigger picture. 7 can have a dreamy and imaginative quality to it. 8, much like 4, can have a foundational quality, but since this is doubled, it can be further solidifying the foundation. 9 is very close to completion and is usually an indication to keep going. It can mean that a choice needs to be made. 10 is the completion and the new beginning. This is an extremely basic and elementary approach to reading the tarot cards, but this can help you if you're just getting started. The best way to get a deeper understanding of the cards is to relate them to the Kabbalistic tree of life. I talk about Kabbalah in most of my videos. If you don't know, Kabbalah is an ancient form of Jewish mysticism, and it's very deep. It talks a lot about the creation of the universe and how the universe operates. It describes this diagram called the Tree of Life, which represents how God manifests into reality. We contain the Tree of Life within us, and everything that we create contains this tree. As above, so below. We are made in the image of our Creator. Within just about any occult tradition, you'll find aspects of Kabbalah being used. This is because Kabbalah is deeply profound and sacred. The wisdom of Kabbalah is one of the most powerful things on this planet to understand. We use Kabbalah so much within magic, from invoking spheres on the Tree of Life, utilizing gematria, vibrating Hebrew names of God, to studying and practicing the wisdom within the tradition. When you know Kabbalah and understand the Tree of Life, and then examine the tarot, you will realize that whoever created the tarot was extremely knowledgeable in Kabbalah. To get the deepest understanding of the tarot, it would be a great idea to overlay the cards on the Tree of Life. Examine the relationship of the cards with the tree. How does one lead into the next? Not only does each card seem to correspond to a sphere on the Tree of Life, but the cards also correspond to a path on the Tree of Life. Learning these will expand your knowledge of tarot tenfold. It is here that you understand why there are 10 cards of each suit. There are 10 spheres on the tree. There is a hidden sphere called Da'ath, which means knowledge. It would be blasphemous in Kabbalah to say that there are 11 spheres on the tree. Da'ath is a hidden sphere. But notice how there are 22 major arcana cards. You can overlay the first 11 on the tree, including Da'ath, and then you can lay the next 11 on the tree and see the relationships between the cards and the spheres on the tree. I'm planning on putting together a tarot course because I want to share the wisdom of tarot and show those of you who are interested how to actually read these cards. This will involve the story of the cards, numerology, and the relationship with the Tree of Life. Leave a comment if you're interested in this course. I believe everyone can benefit from understanding tarot, and it will help you understand yourself. If you're just starting your journey in magic, I have a program that's designed to help guide you through the 4 elements, which is the first step of the journey. Also, if there's something specific that you need guidance on within your magical journey, feel free to set up a session with me. Check out the link in the description below for more information as well as to where you can book a tarot reading with me. If you want access to exclusive content and live streams, the link to my Patreon is in the description. And I hope there was something new that you were able to take away from this video. If so, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.